Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. I'm here today with what I think is a very satisfying video, and it is an unhaul. So it is my end of the year, end of 2024 unhaul. I need to get some of these books out of my life for my own peace of mind. I'm really trying to cut down on the amount of books I own that I don't like. I want my bookshelves to be full of books that I just love. So we've got three separate piles. I'm going to start with the books that I haven't read and I just know I'm never going to read. So You'd Be Home Now by Catherine Glasgow. This is a very sad book and I have no interest in being sad for the reasons in this book. It feels all too real and I don't want that. I don't mind being sad. I love it when books elicit emotion in me. However, this just feels like it's going to be very traumatic and I just know I'm not going to read it. Catch-22, I do actually want to read this at some point, but this copy has tiny writing and I just know I'm never going to read this copy. I'll probably just listen to it on audio, so I don't need to hold on to this. The Dark Half by Stephen King. I've never read Stephen King, and if I'm going to, which I do want to, I'm just not going to start with this. I'll probably start with one of his more recent popular novels rather than like an old one that I don't know much about. I feel like I'll have a better chance at liking his writing because I just picked this up completely on a whim. Same with this one, The Colorado King. I picked these up completely on a whim in a charity shop and I feel like it wouldn't give me the best chance at liking Stephen King if I start with these. So I'm going to redonate them, and when I decide to read him, I'll go with a book that I think I would actually like. And then we've got these two random fantasy books that again I got in a charity shop. I don't even know what these are about, but I looked them up on Goodreads and everyone says that they do not give a good portrayal of the culture that they are trying to represent. So I don't want to read these. Like, if it's not even a good portrayal of the culture, what's the point? There's plenty of good fantasy books out there that I can read. I don't need to read these ones. So they're the books that I have just decided I'm literally never going to read. We're now moving on to books where I might have read some of them in the series, or I might have started these books and decided I'm not going to finish them. Cat's Cradle by Kurt Vonnegut. This just isn't for me. I did like Slaughterhouse 5 by the same author. But yeah, this book's just not for me. I was just finding it a bit boring. I wasn't getting the humour, so I'm just not going to finish it. Then we've got the Darkest Minds series by Alexandra Bracken. This is a 4-book series. It's like a YA dystopia kind of vibe. I read the first two. I think I gave the first one 3 stars, the second one 2 stars, and I just have no interest. These books are reasonably thick. I have no interest in carrying on and finding out what happens when I didn't like the first 2 books. If I really crave answers, I will simply Google spoilers. I don't need to be reading books this thick when I don't like them. Then we've got The #1 Lady Detective Agency by Alexander McCall Smith. I don't think this is a bad book, but I know it's part of a massive series. It's not a series that I can see myself reading. The book was fine. I didn't finish it. It's just not my kind of thing, and I don't want to get involved in a massive series when I'm just not loving it. Then we've got another series. I don't know what the series is called. Daughter of Smoke and Bone Trilogy by Laini Taylor. Read the first one, didn't like it. Held on to the other 2 because I already owned them. I'm really trying to go into 2025 with the mindset of you don't have to read a series just because you own it all. I'm really going to stop doing this now. I'm literally going to buy each book in a series as I actually want to read it, so I don't get stuck in this position. Because basically what I've done is said, oh, I'll hold on to these because I own them, but thinking, would I actually go out and buy these to read if I didn't already own them based on the first book? No, I wouldn't. I didn't like the first book at all. There was too much that I didn't like about it to warrant giving the second one a go. This series just isn't for me. So again, off it goes. And then we've got Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe and Aristotle and Dante Dive into the Waters of the World. I DNF'd the first one, so obviously it makes sense to also get rid of the second one. The writing in this just isn't for me. I found the writing to be not as smart as it was trying to be. I just found it a little bit irritating and a little bit convoluted. So again, I only bought this on a whim before I'd even read this one. Serves me right. We're not doing that anymore in 2025. And then we've got quite a big stack of books that I have actually read. So I can talk a little bit more about these ones and the reasons that I didn't like them. So we've got One Last Stop by Casey Mcquiston, and I have 2 different editions, the standard paperback and the Illumicrate edition. I just didn't love this. I've spoke about it in quite a few videos. Casey Mcquiston, I just don't think she's for me. Red, White and Royal Blue is a 6-star read. That is one of my favourite books of all time. I'm obsessed with it. However, everything else that I have read by her just hasn't been for me. The premise of this was great. It's about a girl that's basically stuck in time on a train. Sounds great. The execution for me just didn't work. And I especially don't need a special edition of a book when I didn't actually like it. So I'm just going to unhaul both of these. I don't need to hold on to them. Someone else might love them and they are welcome to have them. Open Water by Caleb Azuma Nelson. This wasn't a bad book at all. I gave it 3 star. Didn't hit in the way I thought it'd hit just because of the narration style. It's written in second person, which made it quite hard for me to click with it and really connect to the characters. However, it is a good book and I'm mainly donating this because I don't feel the need to own it because I didn't love it, but also I think some people would really connect with this and love it, so I thought it'd be quite nice to donate and someone else can have it and read it and hopefully love it more than I do. When Dimple Met Richer, who is this by? Sanji Manon. Again, this was fine. I gave it like a 3 star. I read it on holiday. It's part of a series. I'm not going to read the rest of the series, so I just don't feel the need to hang on to this. I picked it up cheap in a charity shop, so I'm just going to redonate and let someone else read. And again, hopefully love it. This might be a bit controversial. The Summer at Him, Pretty by Jenny Han. I didn't like this. No, that's a lie. Okay, I liked the first book. I think I gave the first book maybe like a 3.5. It was good. Good vibes, good story. I hated the other 2 books in the series though. I listened to them on audio and I hated them. So it feels kind of pointless holding on to this. I'm not going to buy physical copies of the other 2 because again, I didn't like them. So I don't need to hold on to just one book in a series when this isn't a favourite either. If this was an absolute favourite, I'd keep it, but I didn't love this and I hated the other 2. So we might as well get rid. Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. I gave this like a 2 star. I really didn't like it at all. Not much more to say about it again. I read it quite recently, so I've spoke about it in quite a few videos. Just not for me. Hated the characters. The Language of Seabirds by Will Taylor. This is a really cute story between, I think the characters are like 12 or 13, which I didn't realise when I went into it that they were that young. I don't mind YA, but like that's really quite young YA, isn't it? So yeah, I read it, it was fine, but I feel like maybe someone younger would appreciate this more than I did. The cover is stunning. I've held on to this for quite a while because of the cover, but I just don't need to. Someone else will hopefully love that one. Until I Met You by Amber Rose Gill. Again, not a bad book. I gave it like a 3, read it on holiday. I just don't feel the need for this to take up space on my shelves when it's not an all-time favourite. I probably won't read anything else that Amber comes out with. I love Amber Gill, don't get me wrong. Follow her on Instagram, love her. I think just her writing style, or I don't know if she writes them or if she has a ghostwriter or if she like collaborates with somebody, I'm not sure. The writing style in this book just isn't for me. It's just a bit like silly. And I don't mind a silly book, but this was like pushing the limits of the silliness that I can handle. If I could just put this in a skip and burn it, I would. I'm not going to because I do care about the environment and the sanctity of literature. However, this deserves to be burnt. It was awful. I gave it like a 1.5 and honestly that's generous. The characters in this were just vile. I hated them. I hated everything about them. I hated the relationship. I hated the foundations that the relationship was built on. Just, no, absolutely not for me. Another Jenny Han book. This was even worse than The Summer at Him, Pretty for me. I really could not stand the main character in this. She lied about having a twin who died from cancer. She never had a twin. No one that she was related to, like siblings, ever died of cancer. She just completely made it up for attention, presumably. And she's not held to account for that at all in the book. It's just mentioned in one line and then moved on from. Why even include it? Like, if it's not going to be part of the plot where she grows and learns from saying stupid stuff as a kid, why even include it? Like, you've just made me hate her and then never mentioned it again. So yeah, did not like. The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett. This is on a similar note to Open Water. I actually really enjoyed this. I think I got quite a lot from this story and it's got quite important messaging. I don't feel the need to hold on to the physical copy, but I'm hoping that someone else will pick this up and get those same messages from it. I think it is a great book. It's just not an all-time favourite. It's not something I'm going to reread. I think I've kind of got from it what I wanted to get from it. So hopefully someone else will get something from this as well if they find it in the charity shop. After Love by Tanya Byrne. This was probably one of my biggest disappointments of the year. I had quite high hopes for this. It's like a paranormal YA romance book, like contemporary / romance, but the execution just did not work for me. It was just, it fell flat, unfortunately. Again, I've spoke about this in quite a few videos. I've read this in a reading vlog, so I'm not going to harp on about it too much, but yeah. Again, this is a lovely edition. I am just going to donate it, so hopefully someone will appreciate the nice sprayed edged edition and love the book more than I did. And then the final book, I had to rattle through these because my camera battery's dying even though it's been on charge all night, so don't know what's happening there. So I'm sorry that this video is like, let's go. I wanted to talk about these books a bit more, but I only have right now to film this and I don't have a spare battery. So the last book is Star Daughter by Shweta Thakur. So this is stunning. First of all, look at it. Gorgeous. Gold, shiny, sprayed edges, beautiful cover, beautiful artwork. Fairy Loot edition. However, the book was not beautiful. The best way I can describe this is it felt like I was reading fan fiction of The X Factor. If you're not from the UK, The X Factor is like a singing competition. Think like Britain's Got Talent, America's Got Talent, those kind of things, like The Voice, that kind of competition, but just for singing. That's what this felt like. It felt like a load of 12-year-olds that just kept singing and talking about stars, but the magic system made no sense. The whole world made no sense to me. The characters, I think, were supposed to be like 18. They acted like 12-year-olds. Not even just the main character, just all of them were so annoying. They were written so much younger than they are. Just written very babyish, making like stupid decisions, saying stupid things. We so nearly made it without the camera battery dying. I'm just having to film this clip on my phone, so I'm sorry that the quality is worse and that the audio is probably shite. But I don't have a spare camera battery and I need to leave the house. So, as I was saying, this just wasn't for me. Maybe someone younger would like this. If you are like, you know, 13, 14 and you just pretend the characters are the same age, you might enjoy this more. But it just irritated me. It just didn't give the fantasy vibes that I wanted it to give because I was too busy hating the characters. That's quite a common theme in quite a lot of these books, that I just didn't like the characters and I found them annoying. But yeah, that is my end of the year unhaul. Again, I'm very sorry that this was like rushed. I do have quite a lot of end of the year videos coming, so this is just like a quick little one. I'm going to do an end of the year book haul. So, well, end of the year / new year. So these will be coming like end of December, beginning of Jan. I've got a book haul. I'm going to go through all the series that I'm still in the middle of going into 2025. I'm going to go through every book on my 2025 TBR. So basically every physical book I own that I haven't read and is still on my TBR going into 2025. And then I'm also going to do a 25 for 25. So not necessarily books that I own physical copies of, but just 25 books that I really, really want to get to that are on like my priority list for 2025. So yeah, we've got quite, oh, and also I'm going to do a doing book stuff video because I love doing book stuff, so I might as well film it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this quick little video. I feel cathartic that I am getting rid of these books. It's a very freeing experience to get rid of these and get them on my house. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Please do give it a thumbs up down below if you did enjoy. Subscribe if you haven't already to see some slightly less chaotic, more normally paced videos. And I will see you in my next one. Bye!